Man, this is such a cute movie. Sweet holiday romance. How was Amanda described to you initially?
I had a chat with the director, Danny Boyle, and I read the script and I found her to be quite like a perfectionist and really, struggling to keep her business alive, but resistant to change in the way of the social medias and branding and a little bit old fashioned, but still wanting to keep ahead of the curve and like, flawed, but a perfectionist and maybe unwilling to see her side of where she might need to change. And Danny really, him and I had a really good conversation. He's the director of the film. And he said, Erin, I really want to kind of like bend the norm and make this like a romantic comedy. Like, let's really lean into, I think we discussed Holiday, Christmas Holiday. Was that with Cameron Diaz, Kate
Holiday,
Winslet?
yes.
Yeah, the holiday thing and Jude Law. And we'd really discussed like the tone of that. Not that I'm saying I am Kate Winslet by any stretch or Cameron Diaz, but Jude Law and Chris Russell maybe for sure. But we really kind of like leaned into the romantic comedy feel of this and kind of like going for silly and going for just like a little bit of messiness within it, not structured, which I find really exciting. So I was like, I'm on board. And I like blog characters and people that, characters that can learn and grow and all that. So I really liked Amanda.
And how skilled a baker were you beforehand?
Oh, don't ask why. Why? I knew you were gonna. This is my second project with this particular film company that shoots in Kelowna. The crew is so wonderful, and both times they've cast me as a chef, and I am not. And on the other film, they did a montage where I'm like chopping and cutting, and it was more of a dramatic thriller. But I actually ended up slicing my finger, and there was like blood spurting, and the crew was like, "Aaron, you're the worst." And so I had to have like a bandage on, and I always had to, hide it for continuity. So, full disclosure, no, I'm not a baker. I like eating when other people cook for me, but I'm not. Hence acting. We can act.
There's such great chemistry with you and Christopher. Would you all work that out beforehand to see if there was a chemistry? Was there a chemistry read, or did you guys just find it when you were filming?
It's interesting, different projects. Like usually, if you're going out for like a very large movie or like a television series where you're going to be the leads, you will go through the process of a chemistry read to see if it's there. But this show, it shot so fast. I actually met Chris for the first time on a plane on the plane to Kelowna, and I just remember I was looking down at the script and I just saw these huge legs, and then I just looked up and up and up and our tiny little plane, and I was like, oh, he looks like he's out of the movie 300. Like
Oh, you're right.
like
Gladiator.
yeah, like glad it like he's 6 foot. I don't know. Sorry, Chris, if I'm like over 6'3", and his like biceps are the size of my legs. So it's very funny casting. And him and I immediately we he's a family guy. He has, a wife and children, and we kind of had this like friendship, almost brother sisterly thing, and we got along really well. And he's very witty and he's very fast. So the banter, like all the comedy stuff, it worked. And honestly, in casting, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I had so much fun with him. He is the kind of actor that's willing to make himself look silly, which I really admire. Like he will totally put himself out on a limb to just look ridiculous for the sake of, storytelling and play, and he would also offer some really good things to me, like, oh hey Aaron, what if we did this or that and that. So we were really collaborative with Danny and trying to like find these nuances within it. And he's just a good dude. Like he was when you film, you spend, we were at a hotel for, 2 weeks, and we traveled a set every day. And he's just like he's of all the actors I've worked with, he's probably the most prepared. He knew my lines. He memorizes his lines a week in advance. And I actually
Oh,
learned that. Because sometimes I'm there the day on the treadmill the morning of being like, bah, get these in my head. But he actually taught me a lot, and he would thoroughly prepared. I mean, I would go to the gym in the morning. He would already be there, like lifting weights, just really dedicated and awesome to work with. And it was really hot. You shoot a lot of Christmas movies in the summer. He's a big dude.
yes.
and he's covered in cashmere and jackets and sweating bullets, but like just really friendly and like just so much fun. It was such a joy to have because when you're off camera, you spend weeks with these people creating, a 2 hour story, and it's really important that you like the people you work with. And I think the world of him. He does a series with one of my best friends, Sydney Busby, and he's got a great reputation. I can't wait for part two of this. I would work with Chris again in a heartbeat. He's just a total joy. And the casting's funny because I'm very small and like he's very large, and so we kind of played with our physicality within that. And it was just fun. He's great. He was really great.
There's so many sweet moments, no pun intended, to this movie, but is there a particular scene that's one that was your favorite to shoot, or one maybe that turned out on screen better than you thought?
There, I really, and I remember shooting this scene where we have like this nose, and it was when I read the script, I thought it was cute. She offered like if we ever hurt each other's feelings, and you can take this into your life. She's like put on a little clown nose to kind of de-escalate the situation. So when we shot that scene, he had offered like, and I had this nose and I like pop up, and we had the most fun making it, and it was hard for the crew to keep a still face. I just remember really enjoying that. Like it was just kind of one of those magical days on set where you look around and you're like, I'm so lucky to get to do this. And I was happy with how the comedy of that turned out. I love comedy.
It's a perfect addition to Lifetime. It's a wonderful Lifetime holiday films. And I think Danny did a great job of directing. How hands-on is he when he comes to filming? Does he let you guys have a little bit of range, maybe to improv a bit?
Oh, he's wonderful. He's, like I said, he was really prepared in advance, and we'd had lengthy conversations with him about the tone of things. So when we went into it, we were already aligned. But he also, he respects that we're experienced actors, and he hires us to bring our A game and trusts us to do our thing. And then he can just lightly refine as we go, which is a total gift as an actor to not have, a director kind of micromanage you or really be precious about I preconceived ideas that they may have. So he always really deferred to Chris and I to kind of like build it, put it on its feet, and then he could lightly refine and kind of edge us this way and that way from his lens. No, he was a delight. And at the hotel, I didn't know how to barbecue. So Danny was like, Erin, you got to do this or you're going to burn the place down. So he was just like, lovely to work with. He's very experienced. It was my first time working with him, hopefully not my last. And no, he was great. He was really great, and I believe that he'd worked with that crew before. It was like the Kelowna crew with CWM is very it's a well-oiled machine, and I'd worked with a lot of them before. So it was really nice to just kind of go into family. You hit the ground running, everyone's on the same page so that you can have fun, even when you're working fast. It's awesome.
It's such, as I said, a wonderful addition to the Lifetime holiday films. What do you think it is about Sweet Holiday Romance that that's going to make it a must-see every holiday season? The way that you mentioned with the holiday.
It has it kind of has the traditional trajectory of like a standard Christmas movie, but I think that it also pushes the boundaries, and it's very nuanced. And I think at the end of the day, for me at least, like I'm home in my hometown Jasper in the Canadian Rockies, and there is an element of childhood and memories and going back to that place that instilled this like holiday delight within you and just reminded you of the simpler things. As we get older and we embark out into the world, things can get, complicated and confusing, and just to take that time to kind of step back and be reminded of what's really important. I really like that about the show. And then progressively just talking about like social media and the different and how you can kind of find a way to discern and come together through a happy medium on them. Does that make sense? Like
Yes.
Amanda at the end, she leans in because Chris plays Simon, and he's very like um social media focused and like opposition to her, and through this journey to find his Aunt Jackie's recipe to help Amanda at the world pastry chef competition, they kind of align and find that like magical thing and meet each other halfway and find love on the way. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really happy with it. Like I'm very, very proud of this show because of the script itself and what the people that were involved with did. And I really hope that people enjoy it. I'm really proud of the show.
What are the other projects you've been busy working on lately?
I've been lucky. It's been really busy. After
Yeah.
this project, I did a series for Apple TV called Smoke, starring Taron Egerton, who's just like an absolute force. And it was really cool to work on a project of that scope. It's very dark. It's very different from this. And then I did Chicken Sisters, Legion. I recently joined the cast. Oh, I did a new show um, from one of the creators of Succession called The Audacity, which was very elevated material, very linguistic, very character driven, very challenging and exciting to be a part of. That will be coming out on AMC. And then recently, I joined the cast of Netflix's, is that the thing? Netflix, period. Of the with the Walter Boys, which has just been like one of my favorite experiences since
Yes,
I shot a show
excited
called
for that.
Being Erica back in the day, and this character is just like wildly flawed, but has like truly a heart of gold. And again, the cast and the crew they shoot in Calgary. It's a really high profile show. It reminds me of Dawson's Creek when I was growing up. Like it's a coming of age story, and I love my character on this. And season three will be coming out in early 2026. And so that's been really exciting. And then I'm also directing and producing a documentary on the other side of the camera. So keeping busy. And I'm very grateful that I get to continue to tell stories in all different kinds of genres and mediums and stuff. I'm very, very, very grateful and lucky.
Any interest in stepping behind the camera at one point?
Well, with this documentary, I've been producing and directing it, so I've been working on it. It's about the wildfire in Jasper National Park in 2024. So I've been working on that for 18 months now, behind the camera, interviewing the local residents here who I grew up with to accurately tell the events of the wildfire and hopefully Jasper we can be a forewarning for other vulnerable communities for natural disasters, specifically wildfires. And it's been I don't want to cry, but it's been one of the most
Mhm.
important shows I've ever done because my friends and my family's homes are okay, but a lot of my friends and community here were really it's a challenging time and if Jasper can be if we can, pay it forward to other communities as far as insurance and are you prepared and this is what to do, hopefully this messaging can get out. So yeah, again, it's a really important story and I'm really enjoying the roles behind the camera. I'm learning tons. Yeah.
What would you like to say then to everyone who continues to be such a fan, Aaron, of the wonderful work you do on our screens?
Ah, you're the best. That means a lot because sometimes you're like, you do your best. And I'm just, again, like really, I'm really grateful. People, on the social media platforms that follow, I'm always like, whoa, like for me as an artist, I believe in storytelling. It's one of the oldest forms of, communication and one of the oldest jobs. And to be able to be a part of stories that affect people, they motivates them, inspires them. Maybe it's just escapism, but having feedback from people that have said, being Erica, it made me want to find my biological father or pursue my passion or like
Wow.
hearing that something that I was a part of, even if it's one person, it helped them shape their life in a certain way. I could not ask for more. And I know that a lot of storytelling growing up specifically, I was inspired by so many things that changed the shape of my trajectory. So just to kind of be able to keep doing that. And I'm very grateful for people that follow. I'm always really like surprised and honored and think just grateful. Thank you for watching and supporting me.
You've been a part of so many wonderful projects. It must mean to you so much when people come up to you with their particular favorite that they've seen you shine in and how it touches them. As you said before, like they recognize you from this or that, and they say, like, oh, it made me want to do this, or I found my family because of you. It just must be over and over again so touching to you.
Like again, I could not ask for more. There's days on set where I look around, even if it's like a not a great film or what, I'm sitting there and like we'll say to the other actor, I'm like, I can't believe we get to do this for a living. And if it has an impact, for like a greater good. And I believe that as I get older, I get more discerning about the projects I do because I'm like, we have to be selective about what content we're putting out there. I think now more than ever, what we ingest as social media, programming, food, company, politics, all these things. I think for me, being a part of projects that unite and don't segregate people is important. I have a very strong, core values, and I won't do projects that don't align with those things. And yeah, I really, it's such a really beautiful place to be in, to be able to like live my dream and have like a symbiotic relationship with with fans and audience members and people that watch. It's just, again, it's like every day it's like Disneyland on set, and it's like a dream come true. Very grateful.